Greetings. I am Darth Vader. I have 20 years of experience in killing Jedi and rebel scum. I also have 20 years of experience as a Jedi, killing battle droids, rogue assassins, and other rebels across the galaxy. If it can be killed, I have killed it before, and I am going to use my experience and expertise as a Dark Lord of the Sith to explain to you how these Jedi and Sith that came before me failed in their abilities to duel. I am going to review all the lightsaber duels that took place in the Prequel Trilogy, including my own when I was younger and less experienced. Without further ado, let's begin. This was a fairly neutral fight on even ground. Both fighters had a disadvantage because there was sand everywhere. If I were Darth Maul, I'd have thrown sand in Qui-Gon's eye, blinded him, then cut him in half. This is by far the dumbest duel ever. Right there, Darth Maul could have won. If I were in his place, I would have done one of two things. I would have either taken telekinetic control over one of the ships behind the Jedi, made it turn towards them and fire its torpedoes, vaporizing them in seconds. Or I would have started the fight with a force choke on Obi-Wan, strangling him to death, so that I could face and defeat Qui-Gon alone. As it turns out, I have just thought of a third way that I, as Darth Vader, would have approached this fight. I love to grab objects off the walls or from the surrounding area and hurl them at the Jedi to injure and distract them. There were so many crumbs and pieces of destroyed battle droids, I would have hit these pathetic Jedi with a shower of metal shrapnel, skinning them alive. Darth Maul wasted precious opportunities for victory here, but let us proceed. I would have never allowed the Jedi to surround me like that. I would have used my force powers to push them down and funnel them into one area. He does not need to spin. He could have merely backed up. He's not even defending the blows properly here. I would have cut down Obi-Wan in seconds. He just jumped up. Let us rewind there for a moment. In this shot, we clearly see him leap up very high. Look, where has he gone to? He literally lands a foot later. This is yet another squandered opportunity, which I, if I were in Darth Maul's shoes, would have taken advantage of. You could easily pick up Obi-Wan, strangle him with the Force, and throw him to his death over the ledge. The fact that Darth Maul failed to capitalize on this advantage means that Darth Maul here has squandered at least 4 opportunities for victory. He deserved everything that he had coming to him. Let us move on to Attack of the Clones. My younger years, when I was dumber and more passionate, that is where Attack of the Clones takes place. Let's go there now. We have Obi-Wan fighting against Count Dooku. There is no reason for Count Dooku to spare Obi-Wan here. If I were in Darth Tyrannus' place, instead of stabbing his arm, I'd have stabbed him in the side of the head and decapitated him. Why did he waste precious seconds swirling his saber around? This is how we used to fight back in those days. In those days, we called it more civilized to waste time and energy swinging and twirling unnecessarily. When I fought Obi-Wan on the Death Star, notice how minimalist my movements were, and I ended up killing him. However, when I fought Darth Tyrannus here in this fight, notice how excessively swirly my movements are. It got me killed. What I should have done was use Obi-Wan's dead body as a projectile to throw at Tyrannus to distract him, and then stab him through the gut using Obi-Wan as a meat shield. But instead, I lost my arm because Obi-Wan failed me. No wonder I strangled him later on. And there is literally no explanation for this fight whatsoever. I can't even explain it. There's no logic here. Why is Count Dooku giving Yoda so much ground? He should have force-choked him to death, or used Obi-Wan's body as a meat shield and flung it at Yoda as a distraction while cutting him in half. There is no reason for Yoda to be lasting this long when he has no leverage. Or let us go back to that window scene. Apparently, this hangar overlooks a steep cliff. If I were Darth Tyrannus in this duel, what I would have done was the very moment that Yoda got near that window, let's see if we can get back to it, right there, I would have simply force-pushed Yoda out of that window, causing him to fall several hundred meters to his death. Why Tyrannus did not do that here is inexcusable. Let us go to Revenge of the Sith. Near my birthday, mind you, as Darth Vader. I did everything right in this duel. The only thing I did wrong in this duel was spare Obi-Wan's life. Had I left him there to die, I would be as powerful as I am now, if not more, because I would have kept all of my arms and legs. There's really not much to say about this duel. Notice, Obi-Wan, as a Jedi Master, is getting strangled and thrown around. That is all it takes. Watching Tyrannus do that was my inspiration for why the Force Choke is my signature move once I am in the suit. I noticed that an experienced, seasoned Jedi Master fell to a single choke, and that is why it became my main move. I killed him, and I stole his moves for my own. Let us move on. There is literally no reason why Obi-Wan survived here. In fact, this duel is so hyper unrealistic, there is no good reason to talk about it, except I will point out where General Grievous, if he had necessary skill, could have easily won. I will pause it very well. Right there. If these two lightsabers, which Grievous has at his back, were pointed forward instead of back for no reason, he could have easily stabbed Obi-Wan in the gut there. It seems Obi-Wan got lucky. Ah, the day I was born. There was really no way for the B-team of Jedi to survive here, so they are not to be blamed for their deaths, only that they deserved to die. Let us continue here. Mace Windu does everything right, except for one thing. He pisses me off, and that's why he winds up dead. Yoda fighting Master Sidious. There is no good reason why, during that saber lock, let's go back to that saber lock. There is no good reason whatsoever during that saber lock. Let's pause it. Right there. They are locked with sabers, with apparently my master's lightsaber underneath Yoda's. Why didn't he just slide it forward and cut him in half? There is no reason for Yoda to survive there. And now we get to the worst mistake of my life, losing my arms and legs and becoming a quadriplegic. Let's go to that faithful moment and relive it. What could I have done better to survive in this duel? Let's go to where my old master took the high ground. If I had been sufficient enough in Force Choke, I could have avoided this entire situation, because Force Choke does not give a damn about who has the high ground. In this scenario, we see that all I do is a simplistic series of lightsaber attacks. I should have used the environment to my favor. I could have pushed him off the platform with the Force, so he would be the one melting the lava. Instead, I literally made the dumbest move possible. I let him take the high ground. What I should have done in this instance is use the Force to choke him and pull him down into the lava, just like what Tyrannus was able to do to him aboard the ship that we were using to find General Grievous. These are my reviews from our experiences with Prequel Trilogy. Learn them well, young Sith Lords.